Test. Alright, technical manual 3805261. Technical manual Operator's manual for a grader road motorized diesel engine driven heavy commercial construction equipment. Caterpillar Model 130G identification. Type number 1 non-sectionalized Caterpillar Model 130 GNS. Caterpillar Model 130 GNS CE. Type 2 sectionalized Caterpillar Model 130 GS. Caterpillar Model 130 GS CE. Supersede the notice. This manual supersedes Technical Manual 5, the 3805-26110, dated March 1989, including all the changes. Distribution statement is approved for public release. Distribution unlimited. April 2006, Headquarters Department of the Army. Warning summary. The warning summary contained with the general safety warnings, hazardous material warnings that must be understood when they apply during the operation of the maintenance of the equipment. Failure to observe these precautions could result with a serious injury or death of the personnel. Also include the explanation of the safety hazard material icons used with the technical manual. This radio biological abstract symbol bug show the material in the contained the bacteria virus present in the danger life of health. Chemical. Drops of liquid on hand show the material will cause the burn, irritation, human skin tissue. Ear protection. Heads are over the ears show the noise level will harm the ears. Electrical. Electrical wire to the arm will the electrical symbol running from the human body show the shock is present. Shock hazard is present. Eye protection. Person with goggles show the material with the injury of the eyes. Fire. The fire flame show the material may ignite with the cause burn. Flying particles on arrows bouncing off the face of the face for the shield show the particles flying through the arm's air will harm face. Heavy parts, heavy object, human figure show that heavy parts present the danger to life and limb. The hot area. The hand over the radiating heat show that the parts can be hot and can burn. Alright, hydraulic fluid pressure. Hydraulic pressure fluid spraying human figure show the fluid escaping under great pressure could cause injury, death to personnel. Radioactive identifies the material emanating from the radio engineer. Energy can injure human tissue or organs. Vapor. The human figure in the cloud shows the material vapor present danger, life, or health. For information from the first aid, refer to the TMF FM 42511. Warning: carbon monoxide exhaust gases can kill. Carbon monoxide, colorless, odorless, deadly poison which, when breathed, will deprive the body with the organ oxygen, causes suffocation, exposure to air contained in carbon monoxide, produce symptoms of the headache, dizziness, loss of muscular control, the apparent drowsiness, coma, permanent brain damage, or death. Personally, can result with severe exposure. Carbon monoxide occurs with exhaust fumes with internal combustion engines. Carbon monoxide can be dangerously concentrated under conditions with adequate ventilation. The following precautions must be observed to ensure the safety of the personnel within the engine and the grader is operated. Do not operate engines enclosed with the air with adequate ventilation. Do not idle engine without adequate ventilation. Do not drive the machine with the inspection plates, cover plates removed. The 130G, 130G and S, 130G and SCE. Be alert. Exhaust poison systems. They are headache, dizziness, sleepiness, loss of muscular control. If you see any other person's exhaust poison systems, remove the person from the air, expose them to fresh air, keep the person warm. Do not permit physical exercise, administrative, cardioactive resuscitation if necessary, and notify a medic. 6. Be aware, the field protected with the nuclear, biological, chemical protection, it will not protect from the carbon monoxide poisoning. The best defense against carbon monoxide poisoning is good ventilation. Warning: batteries. To avoid injury with the eye protection, acid-resistant gloves must be worn with working with the ground around batteries. Not smoke, even with open flame with the made with the sparks create other ignition source with around the battery. If the battery is given off with the gas, it can explode and cause injury to the personnel. Remove all the jewelry, such as the earrings, ID tags, watches, bracelets, and jewelry to contain with the battery terminal. A direct short will result in the installing the heating of electrical shock, damage equipment, and injury personnel. Sulfuric acid containing batteries may cause serious burns to their battery. Corrosion electrolyte may cause the makes contact with the skin, eye, clothing, to take immediate action to stop the corrosive burning effects. Failure to follow the procedure may result in the injury, death to personnel. Eye flush. Flush the cold water with no less than 15 minutes and seek medical attention immediately. Skin. Flush the large amount of the cold water until the acid is removed, so see medical attention if required. Internal. If the corrosion electrolyte ingested with a direct large amounts of water and milk, follow the milk with a magnesium beaten egg with a vegetable oil to seek the medication and medical attention immediately. Declothing equipment. Wash the area with large amounts of cold water, neutralize acid with a baking soda, whole household ammonia. Warning, compressed air. Particles blown with the compressed air are hazardous. Do not exceed 15 psi nozzle pressure when the dry parts of the compressed air. Use a maximum of 30 psi when cleaning the components. Do not use direct compressed air against human skin. The failure to follow this warning may result in the injury or death of personnel. Make airstream that directed away from the users and other personnel in the area. To prevent injury, you must wear protective goggles and the face shield. Warning. Either starting area aid system, either fuel them is extremely fuel flammable or toxic. Do not smoke. Make sure that the well ventilated area from the heat without open flammable and sparks. Wear eye protection. Avoid contact with skin and eyes. Avoid breathing either fumes. Fluid enters the fumes, irritating the eye immediately with large quantities of clean water. 15 minutes. Seek medical attention immediately if they inhale. Cause the irritation. Failure to follow the warning may cause an injury or death. Warning, fire extinguisher. Discharging a large quantity of dry chemical with the fire extinguisher and clothing clad may result in temporary breathing difficulty during the immediately after discharging the event. The discharge fire extinguisher from the outside of the cab. Ventilate the cab thoroughly with prior to re-entry. Warning, fuel handling. Do not smoke or permit open flame of any area grade while you're servicing the fuel system. Be sure that the heads of the nozzle grounded against the filler of the tube during the refilling to preventing static electricity. Failure to follow this warning may result in the injury to personnel or equipment damage. Do not perform fuel system checks, inspection, maintenance while smoking near flames or sparks for fuel may ignite. Cause injuries, cause death, and damage to the vehicle. Operating personnel must wear the fuel-resistant goggles with gloves with the handling fuels. And they expose the fuel properly with the exposed skin and change the soaked cloth. Warning, hazardous waste disposal. When surfacing the machine, performance made with the disposal of materials such as the engine coolant, transmission fluid, lubricants, battery acids, batteries, consult with the unit local hazardous waste disposal center, safety office, local regulatory guidance. If further information is needed, please contact the Army Environmental Hotline, 1-800-872-3845. Warning, your hearing may be permanently damaged if exposed with the constant high noise at 85 decibels or greater. Hearing protection is required for the operating of the machine when working on the machine while it's operating. Failure to wear hearing protection may result in hearing loss. And warning, hydraulic system pressure. Do not disconnect, move the hydraulic system line with the fitness of the fitting unless the engine is shut down. Hydraulic system pressure is relieved and tighten all the connections before applying the pressure. Escape hydraulic fluid under the pressure could be penetrate the skin, causing injury or death to personnel. Alright, warning, machine operation. Use the caution between the 3-point contact all times, the mounting of the dismounting machine. Do not use the steering wheel as a handhold. The following warnings may result in the injury or death of the personnel. Be alert with the personnel in the air while operating the machine. Always check to ensure the clear of the personnel obstruction before moving. Failure to follow the warning may result in injury or death of the personnel. Use the seatbelt while operating with the machine. The mandatory fasten before operating the machine. Try fastening the belt during the operation creates hazardous conditions. Failure to follow this warning may result in the injury or death to personnel. Do not allow riders on the machine. Failure to follow this warning will result in the injury or death of personnel. Never leave the operator component while they are applying the brakes. Parking brake. Failure to follow this warning may result in the injury or death of personnel. Do not use parking emergency brake to stop the machine under usual conditions. Only in service of brakes. Service applying the parking emergency brake. Follow the warning that may result in the injury, personnel, or damaged equipment. Never use the starter fluid spray to aid the starting of the engine other than the onboard and either cold starting system. Failure to follow this warning may cause the injury or death of personnel, damage to the equipment. Always use ground guide with the driving machine up and down ramps, preparation for the highway, marine transportation. For the use of the ground guide may cause the injury or death to personnel with the damage of the equipment. Warning, NBC exposure. Nuclear, biological, chemical exposure suspected. Personal warning, protective equipment must handle all cleaner medical media. Consult with the NBC officer, the NBC, and non-commissioned officer for the appropriate handling of the disposal procedure. Refer to the FM33 chemical, biological contamination of evidence avoidance, and M35 NBC decontamination, and 331 nuclear contamination avoidance. Alright, NBC contained filters must handle with the adequate precaution must be disposed of the trained personnel. Warning, if the NBC exposure is suspected, all the air filter media will be handled with the person wearing the fuel or the protective equipment and see the operator with the maintenance manual. To order the NBC decal, use the national stock number 76900114370, part number 122966626, commercial government ending code 19207. Warning, pressurized cooling system. Do not serve the cooling of the system unless the engine is cooled. Has cooled. The pressurized cooling system and escaping the steam of the hot coolant will cause severe burns. Do not remove the cooling system radiator cap while the engine is hot. Allow the engine to cool down. Loosen the cap first. Stop. Let any of the pressure go out of the cooling system. Then remove the cap. Failure to follow this warning will result in serious burns. Alright, wear effective eye goggles and skin protection with a handle and coolants. Failure to follow this warning may cause injury to personnel. Warning, sexualization. Using extreme caution and operating with a remote control ready to all times to release the steering control button, the pull, and the emergency brake hand control in the dangerous situation should occur. Failure to follow these warnings may result in injury to personnel, damage of equipment. Wear eye protection with a disconnecting hydraulic lines. Failure to follow the warning may cause injury to personnel. Stop unit immediately. Low air indicator lights illuminate. Determine the source of the problem and correct it before the continuation of operation. Low air light will come in monetary after starting the engine. And never shift any of the gear higher than the first gear. When wearing high hearing protection while the other rear section with the greater failure to follow this warning may cause injury to personnel. Warning, slave starting. When slave starting grade with a NATO slave cable that does not have the loose or missing insulation, do not proceed with the suitable cable that is not available. Do not use the civilian type jumper cables. Do not use all allowed disabled bolster machines to contact with either of at any of the time during the slave starting. Failure to follow this warning may cause injury to personal death. Alright, warning. Solvent cleaning compound. Solvent cleaning compound military PRF 680 Type 3 is to prevent environmental compliant with low toxic material. However, they may irritate the eyes and skin. Use protective goggles and gloves. Use well-ventilated areas. Keep it away from the flames and source for the ignition. Failure to follow the warning may cause the injury to death of personnel. Warning, tires. The operating machine underinflated. A defective tire may leave with a tire failure with a loss of traction and control. The failure to follow these warnings may cause damage to equipment and injury to personnel. Use a tire pressure 0 PS or do not inflate. Notify the unit maintenance failure to flow when this warning may cause the injury to death personnel. Using a self-inflating chuck, stand with a distance behind the tire when the tire inflating the tire. Failure to follow this warning may cause injury to death personnel. Warning, towing grader. Ensure the tow line is strong enough to get condition attached to the low line only with the towing connection provided on the frame. Do not use the tow faster than 5 miles an hour. Do not tension on the tow line while inspecting. Do not jerk the low tow line. It may break. Using a tow bar machine, it moved more than a few feet. The tow bar is not available to attach the machine. Equalize the side of the rear of the towed machine, providing with the braking with it going downhill. Do not allow the rider on the machine. Do not allow riders on the machine that is being towed. Allow the block wheels to be removed with the axle shaft. Disconnect the parking brake in emergency. If the axles are removed from the parking and emergency brake, if disconnected, block wheels are when parking. Warning, work safety. Lifting capability with a chain hook for the sling of the lifting machine, but it must be in good condition, suitable capacity. Failure to follow this warning could cause injury or personnel death and damage to the equipment. Improper use of the lifting equipment, improper detachment of the cable of the machine cause injury to personal damage of the equipment. Observe all the standard rules and safety pitch of the steering movement that can be reduced for the clearance of the side of the cause of the injury. Always stop the engine before watching in the area with the hitch link. Use the caution with the very handling heavy parts. Provide adequate support with using assistance during the procedure. Ensure any lifting devices with a good condition, suitable load capacity. Keep it with the heavy parts supported with the lifting device. Failure to follow these warnings can cause an injury to death of personnel. Where suitable eye protection, keep the face and the eyes away from the exhaust air tank drain valves, and failure to do so may cause injury to personnel. Our list of effective major work packages, the data issue, original manual, original to April 28, 2016. Total number of pages in front of the rear of the 32. The total number of the work package, work aid packages is 22, consisting of the following. And then that's all right, your operator's manual grade road. I'm going to cut the tape there.